Hello, guys. I think we are live. Hi, welcome so much to this live. We're doing a Thursday night live, and I have my friend Samantha here. We're going to chat a bit about some of the things that we have learned along the way. I think that me and Samantha have been on YouTube for approximately same amount of time. I think we've been on YouTube for about 5 years, ish. If you haven't been here before, please do consider subscribing to my channel, and also don't forget to check out Samantha. I will link her, of course, down below. She's already in the description box. You really need to check her out. I also will have a button. Is it here? Here. There will be a button down here that says join if you want to join my memberships. And if you do join my memberships, you will get a little clown emoji next to your name that says that you're part of the Happy Clown Squad. You also get member exclusive emojis, and you will also get member exclusive tutorials. I just put up the second tutorial that is live on my channel. So if you want to check that out, and if you want to join the membership, you're most welcome. And if you don't worry, nothing changes on my channel if you are not a member, because you will still get the same amount of videos. There you are. This is so weird to be like. Take it away, Samantha.
Hi everyone. Well, I'm Samantha March. I'm super excited to be here on the live. I have my snacks in front of me and I have my water. I feel good. I feel ready to go. But if you haven't been by my channel yet, I'm really similar to Angelica in that I love really colorful looks and just very Okay, I'm lying. That's a lie. I'm starting off with a lie. But I feel like I'm more known for my neutral, very quick and easy go-to type of looks, including this eye look that literally took me 2 minutes because I didn't start getting ready until later. So yeah. And I just love to chat about makeup. I love doing tags. I love reviewing products. And yeah, that's kind of my channel. It's been about 5 years for me. I think it was April 2015. That I uploaded my first video.
I uploaded my first video in August 2015. So
okay, and my first year,
head start.
Yeah, well, and my first year on YouTube was a little bit different because I was a book channel first when I started YouTube. So my first year on YouTube is like book hauls, book reviews. Because I'm also a book blogger. I'm a self-published author of 8. So I would give like author tips, blogger tips, like marketing tips for authors, how bloggers can connect with authors. So that was my first year on YouTube. And I would slowly start to like add in beauty because I started blogging in 2009. And it was just a women's lifestyle blog. I did book reviews, but I did fitness, I did beauty, I did a bunch of different things. And it slowly kind of focused more towards books as I started publishing. I owned my own publishing company. So I really talked a lot about books. So when I started YouTube, I was like, let's just kind of make it a continuation of my blog. But then I would start to work in beauty because I'm like, I still love makeup and I want to talk about it. And then people loved those videos. I was like, okay. So in 2016, it was summer of 2016, I like rebranded and started doing beauty videos. So yeah. So technically 5 years on YouTube, 4 years in the beauty space.
Well, you've been doing really good during those 4 years in the beauty space. I mean, you have really made a name for yourself on YouTube. I mean, I did my first book review in one of my recent videos.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love talking about books
It was an unplanned book review, but I don't remember the last time I got that amount of comments saying like, please do more book reviews.
I know it like warms my heart because I do book reviews in my makeup monthly series that I do every month. I put it towards the end, just because I know that I'm a makeup channel and a beauty channel, but I put my book reviews toward the end and I talk about my 5-star books that I reviewed on my blog, and people love it. I get so many comments about it. People tell me that they're checking out the books. I recommend it. And it makes me so happy because when I transitioned from books to beauty, I was like, well, what if no one ever wants to hear me talk about books? Like, that would make me so sad because books are my life. Like, books are my first love. Like, they are my life. And it makes me so happy that we can talk about both. So yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, well, I feel the same way about gaming, and I'm trying to sneak in gaming in different kind of videos because gaming is my true love.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to combine the two, but unfortunately, they're very hard to combine.
Yeah.
I did put up a couple of like pointers of like things that I myself have definitely changed my mind about these like years that I've been on YouTube. And I did talk about this in a recent video that I named like not like other influencers. I will see if I can remember to put that afterwards in the description box if you want to see it, because I feel like the longer I'm on YouTube, the more I'm like, all those things that I thought that people were just like, I didn't understand it, and now the longer I'm here, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And one of the things for me was like, why don't people buy their own makeup? Why are they only reviewing PR? And I feel like I've made a 180 on that, because I get PR from the brands that I used to buy every collection from. So I'm still reviewing the same brands. I just happen to get them in PR now. And also some months, I mean, you do get quite a lot of PR. And I know that you get even more PR, not only because you're a bigger channel, but also because you're in US, and US is very PR heavy. And it's like, if you get like 10 PR packages in a month, like how much makeup do you, like that is content. If that is good PR, if that your audience is genuinely interested in, like why would I go out and just rebel buy more makeup? Just like, I'm not like other influencers, I buy my own makeup if I already have all the makeup that my viewers are interested in.
Yep. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because I know you talked a lot about like you buying so much makeup in the beginning as well, and I did too.
Yep, I've talked about that pretty freely on my channel and also my podcast about starting YouTube and feeling just an immense pressure of buying all of the makeup and showing all of the new makeup. And I mean, still today, I'm still getting out of credit card debt from YouTube, from my YouTube channel. And I decided to talk about it because as I started to make more friends in the community and in the industry, and I would talk behind the scenes and be like, how did you guys do it? Like, how did you buy all this makeup and have all these reviews? And so many people would say that they were also putting it on credit cards, that they were also going into debt. And I was like, we were all pretending that we could do this. And so that's why I decided to talk about it, because I was like, well, maybe I can help the next person who's coming up and feeling this crazy amount of pressure to review everything. So I've been really open with the financial part of YouTube, because I think it can look really glamorous sometimes, and you can kind of have these ideas of how much money people are making and what their lives look like, but you don't really know. And there's also just so much more that goes into it that I learned really quickly and was like, okay, wait, I can't keep doing this. So I definitely work really hard, I think, at trying to make brands notice me, whether it be on Instagram and doing tutorials with just their products or videos with just their products and tagging them. And because my hopes is to try to get some PR so I can review it, so I don't have to purchase everything, because it's not a good way to go down. I don't
and also like, I only speak for myself here, but I live in Sweden and I have to pay taxes on PR. Like they're not gifts. Like I have to pay taxes on them. So when I get like, when people ask me if they can send me PR, a lot of times I say no, because I know it's not gonna make it on my channel. Like if I know I'm not going to make a video on this, or this isn't something that my viewers are interested in, I'll say no, because otherwise I'm paying to receive their products. And that makes no sense if it's not something that I'm interested in. So for me, it's like, it's such a balance, because like you said, a lot of the brands that I love, that I bought all of the collections, I was trying really hard because I wanted those brands to notice me, because now I do get PR from some of the brands that I used to buy so much makeup from. And if I didn't get that PR, I do genuinely think that I'd still be buying it. I mean, just look at me in Juvia's Place. I'm still out here buying every Juvia's Place review. Oh my God, they've gotten so much of my money. Oh yeah, ColourPop. On ColourPop also, it's like, oh, I really want to buy this release. I'm like, are they going to send me this? I'm like, no, they're not going to send me this. Everything I buy, they send me. I get duplicates of everything I buy. And if I don't buy it, they won't send it to me. It's like they're tracking my orders.
I know. Okay, I feel that way with ColourPop, but I've also felt that way about Charlotte Tilbury because there's been some releases from Charlotte that I'm like, definitely, like I know it's coming to me, so I'm not going to purchase it because Charlotte and ColourPop have a very different price point. Sometimes with ColourPop, it's like, okay, I spent another $12 on that palette and then they sent it, but like that's okay. With Charlotte, it's like, should I buy this $50 bronzer, but then get it sent to me? Like, that could be a little bit tough. And then I wait because I'm like, it's definitely coming. And then it doesn't come. And then I buy it late. And that's like, oh man, like, what have I done?
Yeah. But I do think also in the beginning, like the first, like for me, years, I'm like seeing like what is my audience genuinely interested in, and if I know that like something is releasing that I'm not getting in PR, that I know that not only me, I genuinely, some things I'm like, I need to buy this. I don't care if anyone's watching this video. I want to own this for me. But I also know like, oh, I want to own this, but I also know that my audience is interested. I'll buy it. But I do buy less makeup now because I mean, I do 5 videos a week, 4 to 5 videos a week. And I could do that on PR if I wanted to, but some PR just isn't that interesting. So I say no to it.
Yeah. And I'm the same. And I still, I feel like as of recently too, as my channel's been able to grow. So I've been, I mean, we all got hit really hard when COVID-19 came. Our AdSense all took a huge, I know we all talked to each other like, oh goodness, like what's happening? But with being able to make more money, I do feel like I can put back a little bit more into my channel, whether that be with an equipment upgrade or whether that be with being able to buy products. And I've done quite a few Sephora hauls on my channel recently because there's just been so much stuff that's exciting to me. And I'm still just a makeup lover at heart. I get excited to go into Sephora. I get excited to go into Ulta and see what's new or what's happening. And I don't think getting PR has taken that part away from it, but it's also relieved some of the pressure of feeling like I need to buy so much because I am able to make a trying new makeup video almost every week using some of the products that I've received and different things like that. So it helps alleviate some of the pressure, but yeah, I'm still excited every time I go into a Sephora or go online.
I'm just going to quickly answer Laura here. You should check out the tax thing. At least in Finland, you only get to pay PR taxes if you specifically agree to do a video. And no, it's not the same in Sweden. I have to pay taxes on all the PR that I receive once, because just I'm me receiving them, whether or not I'm ever showing it to anyone. And I also have to pay taxes a second time if they come from outside of EU. Because then I have to pay taxes like the moms. What is that? Like the taxes you just pay for like customs taxes.
Oh, okay.
So I have to pay like Sweden is good for a lot of things, but there's a lot of taxes going on here. But I mean that's the thing. The taxes sometimes, that's what I have to think about with PR. Like, am I gonna end up paying more in taxes than I actually like make in AdSense showing the product? Because and I understand brands like when they're smaller and they want to be shown on channels, but I have to take that into consideration because I can't be paying to make YouTube, because that's what you did in the beginning. You were paying.
Oh yeah.
To make YouTube.
Oh yeah, 1000%. Yeah, you pay a lot of money to start. When people are like, you know, I see comments not just even directed at me, but just like YouTubers in general, like, oh, you started just to like make a bunch of money and like, and it's like, huh?
What money?
Whatever, for free for 2 years.
All the money I sunk into my channel.
Oh yeah. I'm like, my God. No. But no.
You mentioned equipment a bit like that is one thing that I don't like. I used to, because when you started YouTube, they were like, oh, all you need is a phone. All you need is a phone and people will love it, and no one will mention the quality, and no one will. Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
People talk about quality a lot. Like you get a lot of comments about that. Pretty rude comments. Actually.
I feel like that's definitely something that's changed over the years because, you know, when YouTube started, it was people on their phones or their webcams. I actually started a YouTube channel before the one that I started in 2015. It was back in 2013, and it was all off my webcam. Like it was, I mean, it was terrible quality. It was just kind of more like vlog style videos as I prepared to get married. And I was doing like wedding vlogs. So my family who was Army and not living near me could like see my experience and everything. And I put it on my blog and stuff, but it was all off my webcams, but that's how it was. And people were in their bedrooms with their candles and like all that stuff. But it's definitely changed now. I mean, people like you look at some of the bigger YouTubers showing their equipments and their studios. I mean, they have an entire studio for this
Not their
stuff.
makeup room. They have their makeup room and then their studio. I'm like,
yes, it's it's wild to watch some of these videos and just and I mean, I don't even know how much stuff costs off the top of my head because I'm not in like the tech world by any means. But it's like I'll see these lights and the panels and be like,
yeah, because those panels I've checked because I'm a nosy bitch, like Britt Clark would say. I checked; those panels are $2,000 each, and the camera that Desi used to film on is $6,000 with not the lens.
I'm like looking for a drink. I just got my water. I need like something heavier after that. Like, yeah, you know, I'm so jealous of your wine. It's only noon my time.
It's 7 o'clock here. Like that is a lot of money, and they're showing that, and I start adding up. I'm like $2,000, $4,000, $15,000. I'm like,
yeah, it's wild. But I mean, their videos are amazing and stunning and just so fabulous. But yeah, that's definitely changed a lot from even when I was a YouTuber to just like me being a viewer. It's still because I started off my phone. I mean, kind of today, I wish I could show you guys my setup because it is incredibly professional. I have like a little cabinet in front of me. I have a PR box from Drunk Elephant that I haven't even opened. It came when I was like, oh, I can use this as a stand. So it's not even opened yet. My stack of books, my 8 books that I've written, and then my phone with a holder on top. So like we're real professional today, which is fantastic. But I started off
had to do this because if I don't have this, it's like dark behind me.
That's funny.
And did you see my face? Did you see? Like you do what you need to do.
You do what you have to do. It's fine. But yeah, it's so funny to talk to people who did start around that same time because I run the podcast Start Inspired. Today I had on another YouTuber named Stephanie Marie. And she was talking about starting in 2016. She's like, I started with my phone on a stack of books. And I was like, yes, like it's just, you hear that so often. But one thing that I actually recommend to people who, because I get asked a lot, you know, what do you recommend if I want to start a YouTube channel? And one of the first things I say is to start with your phone for your first few videos and natural lighting before you start putting a bunch of money into equipment, just to make sure that you like it. Because I know actually several people who have started YouTube channels and been like, ooh, actually, I don't like it. I don't like being on camera. I don't like editing. I don't like putting my life online. Whatever the reason may be. And the last thing you want to do is go buy expensive cameras and lights and then be like, oh, well, I didn't even like that. But there's not, I don't want to say that like, there shouldn't be too much pressure when you first start out, unless you're already coming from, you have a platform, you blew up on TikTok and now you're starting a YouTube channel, you'll have a lot of eyes on you or something like that. But if you're just starting out, there's not going to be a lot of people watching your first few videos. You can get the hang of it through your phone, through your natural light. But once you do start, you know, getting more views, you really do need to have good quality because people will comment.
That's the thing. I could start filming like this. I could do a couple of videos like this and I will probably get 10, 20, 50 views, and I could see like, is this okay? But you can't expect to get like, I don't want to say a following, but you are probably gonna get tired of only getting 50 views and people saying like, maybe you should get a camera, because people will comment that. And it's a totally different ballgame today than it was before. And I will say that when I started YouTube, I was like, yeah, you just need a camera and like a ring light. Everyone has a ring light. So if you have that, my videos is going to be just as good as Jaclyn Hill's videos. Like, that's all she has. Like, I'll do that. And then you do it and you're like, why are my videos so crap?
Yeah, right.
And now, like 5 years in, I'm like, put a light, put a second light, put a third light. Oh, I got this special lens. And it's like a balance of taking the money, if you do make any money on YouTube, and investing it back into your channel, because people are requesting quality.
Yeah.
Today.
And as you grow, I mean, I do think it's kind of a pressure with growing. It's kind of a pressure with
Never mind.
It's a pressure with growing, is that you do also need to continue to grow and keep improving and keep getting better, whether it be your quality, whether it be your content, putting more effort and energy into your videos. And I mean, it definitely is something that you have to think about. I mean, when I first started out and the videos that I was filming compared to what I do today, and just trying to learn more in the editing process and all of that, there's so much that comes with it. So yeah, really, as you grow, I think maybe I might have had a thought of like when I was first starting out of like, oh, as you grow, it gets easier.
Can you not?
No. I hate that. I hate when I land on my camera. I look over at Andy's like, ah! I'm like, what am I saying that works?
No, never mind me.
No, that's funny. But I think one thing that I might have thought in the beginning that I would think differently now is like, as you grow, it gets easier for you because you have this following now. You have people that are, you know, they're going to show up because they now just love you after all of this time, or they just respect you, or they just want to see your videos. But it actually is, it gets harder. It gets harder. It gets more time consuming. There's more pressure on you. When you have more eyes on you, this is something that I've noticed, like, I want to make sure that my quality is good, but I also want to make sure what I'm saying, I feel like with my reviews and what I'm recommending, I feel so much more pressure to really make sure I'm recommending the top things. Because when you start to realize that people are spending their money on products that you're recommending, it's like, you can't mess this up. Like, you got to get this right. And it's hard because, you know, of course, everybody's different and everybody's preferences and skin types are different and all. But it's like, I just really want to know personally that I'm doing the very, very best that I can, because there's more eyes on me now and I feel a certain pressure.
I just wanted to quickly mention, we are doing that.
Yes.
It's happening. We're just trying to figure out the time because we're busy bitches.
Yes, right.
But it's happening.
Yes, but it's happening. It's gonna be so fun. I can't wait.
How I feel like the more I've grown, I feel like because you do get a lot, not a lot, but you do get comments that like, not only like, maybe you should think about fixing your audio. Have you looked into, they're like, you need a microphone, you need a camera, you need better lighting. Sometimes they're even like, you need to fix your background. Like, what am I going to do, move?
Yeah.
What do you want from me? Right. They're like, you need to fix your editing, you need to do this. And I think sometimes, I don't think that viewers understand that like these things cost money. Like, people are complaining about my camera quality. I bought a new camera. This camera is expensive. Like, I spent $2,000 on this camera. I've spent so much money on this lighting. I still haven't been able to get my microphone to work, even though I bought a microphone. The editing program was like $500. Like, this is money, like actual money that I had to sink in because I didn't want to get those kind of comments. And I feel like the longer I've been on YouTube, the more I'm like, I'm taking away all of those little things that people can be like complaining about. Not complaining, but like wanting me to improve. So I'm like, oh, I'm not going to let them have this. Okay, I'm taking this away. Now my camera quality is better. And then I'm like, oh, I'm taking this away as well. They can't complain about my background. Oh, and I'm taking this away as well. So it's really hard. And the editing, like me editing in the beginning, I was like, oh, I'll just take away if I'm like burping and when the dog comes in, and that's
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
I'll put some music on, maybe if I don't really care. And now
Yeah.
it's like, it's a process. Oh my
Mhm.
God. And all the little things, it takes so much time. But
It
it's
does.
mainly because I want to do as good as possible, but also because I feel like the more eyes you have on you, people expect you to
Mhm.
do some kind of a production.
You're
They're
right.
expecting it.
Yep.
But it's still only me, and I'm like Googling like, how do you put a picture
Mhm.
on a picture?
Yes. It's so funny for me sometimes to think back, especially when I had my book channel, because I would be reviewing different books and such, but a lot of the books that I read are on Kindle or on an e-reader. And so I didn't know when I first started editing, it's not even available anymore. I used the YouTube editor. It was in the back end. Pretty much all you could do was cut and trim.
Yeah.
That's it. Like you couldn't do anything else. But that was what I started on. It was free. It was right there. I was like, cool, I got this. But I didn't know how, or I couldn't put pictures in. So I had like a Microsoft Surface, like an iPad looking thing.
Yeah.
And I would I would take the cover of the book and I would zoom in really big and I'd put it up to my phone and be like, this is what the cover looks like. Like those are my first videos because I didn't know how to add photos.
But I was the same because I was editing on Windows Movie Maker because that was free, and I was like, oh, what are people doing to get those pictures on the side? I want to do that, and it's like, oh, it's gonna cost me $500. Ooh, let me put a pin in that. And maybe I can do that later. So I was like, I was cutting me out, and then I was just showing the picture, and it was all empty, no sound, no nothing. It was just the makeup item, and then all of a sudden I was back, and people were so upset with me. They're like, "You need to put the picture aside." I'm like, I can't afford it.
Right? I know that the little things that people say, like, you should do this. It's like you don't actually know what that means or what that entails or anything because it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's not me being lazy. I'm physically not able.
Right. Exactly.
I want to too. Trust me, nobody wants it more than me.
I know. I can remember the first time that I got, editing software and I could put photos in. I was like, I'm the queen of YouTube.
Me too. I remember the first video when I have photos. I was like, and there's a photo coming. And I was so excited. Let me see. Thank you so much for this super chat, Rebecca. Captions are so massively important. 80% of viewers, even those who aren't hearing, I'm sorry, I can't read. Even those who aren't hearing impaired have said they gravitate to our channels with captions, not the other ones either. I caption for a channel. Listen, I captioned for one of my videos, and it took me 2 days. 2 days.
Oh wow!
If I was to manually caption my videos, I wouldn't be making YouTube. I'm so sorry. There's no way. There's no way I would because I captioned one of my videos and it took me 2 days, and I was like, yeah, that's something I'm never doing. That's something I'm never doing again. If I was a big YouTuber and I had a lot of money, yes, sure. But I can't even imagine how much you charge for that, like how much that costs, probably more than we make per video.
Yeah.
So, and also sometimes I see the auto captions, they are I love Aries. Sometimes I see the auto captions are like slow and I get comments on it, but it's like, that's not me. YouTube does the auto captions and I can't turn them on. I can only wait for them to roll in. And I would love to do like actual captions, but I just cannot afford that. I'm so sorry.
I didn't realize that it took that long because I have the options for the auto captions too. But I didn't realize that people could like manually do the captioning, which I actually used to do that too. I used to do it for a therapist of all people, but he would send me his tapes and I would like not caption, but I would type them out for him. But it takes a lot of work. Like it takes a lot of time and a lot of work. So but wow, that's really cool that you do that though, Rebecca. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. Susie says some channels use community-based captions, and I have seen some community-based captions gone wrong. I'm not saying I don't trust you. but I don't trust all people.
I haven't heard of that.
It can go a bit wrong. Rebecca says it's much less than you think, and I also think that some like AdSense isn't that much.
Oh yeah.
maybe we can get into that, like money, because we talked about that just recently. Like when I started YouTube, I thought every YouTuber that was a super big YouTuber, they were rich, like they were millionaires, they were living the high life. I thought that 1 million subscribers equaled $1 million. Like if you were like that big, you made that amount of money. And then I also thought that people our size, they were making peanuts. Like, oh yeah, if they're lucky, they can like buy an eyeshadow palette. And there are so many things with money that I have changed my mind about. But also, like you and I, we've been talking about editors, because I would love to get some help with editing. But all the editors that I've been in contact with have been either charging too much, like so they're actually charging the amount of AdSense that I'm getting in on a video, and it's like then I might as well just like edit it myself or not film it, because it does cost me money to make YouTube. I have things to pay. And or they're like making edits that are, I can make better edits. And I'm not saying this to be rude, but it's like if I want someone to edit my videos, it's because I think that they would make like something that I can do, like something extra. So I think that when it comes to like economics, like I've changed my mind so much about like, and also like where does money come from? Because I used to think like, because we were talking about this as well, like sponsored things, like, oh, they're just taking all the sponsored things that are coming their way and they're making millions. But now being my size, I get like 5 emails a day asking me to do sponsored videos about everything from like mattresses to air fryers. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
And it's like, this isn't really the type of content that my channel is about.
Right. Yep.
So
that's funny.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Like I'm with you there too. And I think I actually meant to say this in the PR part, but how you said that like you'll turn down PR, but like I do as well. And I think that's something I thought at one time too, was like, oh, like everybody can accept everything. It's like, oh, do you want this? Yes, of course I do. But really, when you start to like, sometimes I look around and see how much I have, which I'm super grateful for. It's amazing. I love to be able to give back. I love to be able to, oh yeah, for sure, Karen. I saw that comment. Yeah.
They mail me so much. I had to write them back. I'm like, please stop mailing me. I'm not going to be doing any videos on your poopy teas. It's not happening. Please stop.
Seriously, that stuff is, there's a couple of them that just never quit. That's one of them. But truly, I have to say like no to PR, because it just gets to be too much. Like you said, like you can't put everything on your channel. You can't. So then it doesn't feel like a mutually beneficial relationship, and that's what you want to go for. But it's the same with sponsorships. When I see people comment to be like, oh, you just take any sponsorship under the sun. That's definitely not true, because there is a ton to turn down, and not even just the ones that are like, this doesn't even make any sense for my channel, or this isn't a reputable brand. But there's certain things that I have to turn down, because it can be a brand that I really want to work with, but they want me to do a sponsorship on a skincare product and they need a 2-week turnaround. And it's like, okay, well, like, no, that's not going to work. And so there's a lot that goes into that too. But also, one thing that I didn't quite know in the beginning is truly how much time it takes to negotiate contracts for sponsored videos, how much time you have to look into actually reading the contract. Because if you're not reading the fine print, I've been taken advantage of multiple times in the beginning because I didn't really get some of the language in there. I've given up my rights to certain brands for a really long period of time. So when I see people get sponsored videos, especially if you're someone who, like, I don't have a manager or anything like that, so I'm handling that myself. It's a lot of time. If you're negotiating, it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of standing up for yourself. So when I see people get sponsorships, I'm like, good job. Like, I know that took a lot of work for you to do. And that's not something I think I would have thought about in the beginning. It's like, oh, they just fall into place and it happens. But
Mm.
No, not really.
No. And I've also said no to several sponsorships that I would have loved to take, but the companies are not available in my country. And I want to be like, I would love to work with you, but it feels weird that I, as a Swede, get to work with you when if I wasn't on YouTube, I wouldn't even be able to buy your products.
Yeah.
So, and that's just something that I'm trying to stay true to. And I'm just like, I would have loved this, but it doesn't feel right because it's like the only reason I'm getting your products is because you're sending them to me. And it's, and sometimes it's also, like you said, the turnaround. They're like, oh, we would love you to do this in 2 weeks. And I'm like,
right? It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, and it's so helpful to be able to talk to more creators these days. Like, a lot of us do talk behind the scenes, and a lot of us use the Marco Polo app, but we can go and be like, hey, this is what someone said. Like, what do you think? Like, I need help, like, with this one. Just to get someone else's feedback can be super helpful. Or be like, are they trying to say the same thing to you? Because this doesn't seem right. Like, there's a lot of shit that happens behind the scenes, and you got to navigate it, and you got to do your best and hold your integrity. When I emailed or when I interviewed Stephanie Marie today for the podcast, she said, you know, a lot of us, like, we have our integrity. Like, that's what we have. That's what we build this on. And if we lose that, then what do we have? Like, so that's something that you always have to remember, because there can be, I mean, there's been some sponsorships deals that have come in that I've been like, wow, this could be amazing, but it doesn't feel right. And you got to say no. And because I mean,
I've been offered a lot of money to do sponsorships about things that just literally does not fit in my, like what am I going to do? Like, for example, there was a company wanting me to do a sponsorship about an air fryer. My actual response to them was, yes, that will fit in seamlessly with my beauty content. They didn't come back to me. I don't know why. I thought I was being very polite. What am I going to do?
What?
Let's take a break in the blending and reach over to get a nugget. What am I going to do? I like.
Oh, that's
I don't
hilarious.
understand sometimes. So yeah, I do very little sponsored videos, but it's also because I feel like I want to decide everything.
Yeah.
And as soon as they're like, we need you to, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. Or this really doesn't happen to me very often, but I see a lot of comments about it, like about why people don't like sponsored videos, because people are reading from, you know, a script or talking points. That really doesn't happen to me a lot. And like, I get a lot of just like sponsorship emails in general of like, this is what we want. And there's been very few times that it's like, read off this script or read off all these, because I think especially these days, brands know that what makes us have an audience and people that want to come back is because we are ourselves. So if you're making me say something in a way that I wouldn't normally say it, people are going to pick up on that, and it's not going to look good. And for the brands that like don't want to accept that, then I won't work with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, easy.
And that's like the thing, like the sponsorships that I have done have been with brands. They're like, oh, we just want to showcase this product, or we just want you to do something with our brand. We trust you. Because when it's like, oh, we want you to say these things and these 5 pointers, and it would be nice if this took 5 minutes, I'm like, yeah, I'm out.
When it's
because that's the things that I don't want to do.
When I have to put like, when I can't just be natural on camera and do what I want to do, like that's hard, because it makes it not as fun. And yes, this is a job, and yes, this is, you know, part of my career, but I also choose to do it, and I think it's really fun. So like, I also want to enjoy myself.
Get money.
Seriously, you have no idea how jealous I am of this air fryer, because I have even talked about it in my Facebook group about wanting an air fryer. I'm like, hello, air fryer. I'm like, hi, I'll cook.
The company needs to mail you.
Hello. I would totally rock that air fryer. There's so many things I want to do with air fryers. People keep sending me more recipes, and I'm like, I went to Target one day, but all the air fryers were sold out. I don't know what that. It was right before college started again, so I guess all the college kids are getting air fryers, which lucky. We had like them. Pizza pizzazzes. So like, that's cool. Jealous.
You and I talked today on Marco Polo about titles and thumbnails. And oh my God, that has been a journey. I want to say hi, Momo Kitty. Thank you so much for joining our membership.
Yay!
Thank you. You are welcome. My thumbnails and my titles, like I used to be like, oh, I'm just gonna be here. I'm just gonna say what the video is about. And even though people are like, I love the simplistic thumbnails, I love the thumbnails, they're just pretty to look at, the thumbnails are just like aesthetically pleasing, and the titles that just explain what the video is about, I get that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get the views. People don't click on that. And if it's something I've learned on YouTube, it is that what I think is aesthetically pleasing is not what gets the clicks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep. I absolutely agree. And like I was telling you today, like it's something that I'm trying to work on, because I feel like there almost needs to be a balance these days of like clickbait and not lying in your title. Like, you know what I mean? Like that sounds super crazy. But it's hard because people do, and it's funny because I'll get comments from people like, I don't like your thumbnails where you're making a funny face. I'm like, those are my top viewed videos. So I'm so sorry that you don't, but it kind of brings in my own like personality, because I think I'm like kind of a funny person. So it can kind of bring that in. But at the same time, like a lot of people do enjoy seeing it. So, you did click on this video to leave that comment. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mindset and Mascara, for joining my membership. And look at this. Sam, you're looking extra pretty today.
Thank you. I got ready in 10 minutes. Appreciate that.
See, some people just wake up beautiful.
I was going so fast. I got a big old sweater on because it's like 38 degrees outside, so it's fine.
It's not warm here either, not even a bit. But yeah, I've noticed with time that the thumbnails that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a pretty thumbnail and this is a good title, that describes what the video is about.
Yeah.
I've noticed that those don't get as much views as the titles that have a little bit of flair to them. And like you said, the thumbnails where you're just having a bit of fun with it, or the thumbnails that is a bit cluttered with products, those do better. And as long as that's what the viewers are clicking, that's what the creators are going to do. Like the creators, and this is something that I have learned during my 5 years. It's not a coincidence that the thumbnails and the titles are looking the way they do. It's because you, the viewers, that's what you click. And I didn't get that in the beginning. I was like, why are they doing this like clickbaity titles, or why are they doing these thumbnails with the emojis and the big, like, it's because that's what the viewers click on, and they might think that it's annoying, but they're still clicking on it. And as long as they do that, that's what the creators are going to do.
Yeah.
And you know, like you said, it's like, as long as you're not lying, because I always click out of a video when I see that people are like lying, clickbaiting. But there's the fun way of like being, because you do want people to click on your videos.
Right. That's our whole goal, is having, I mean, that's our whole goal, is to have people click on our videos to watch it, and hopefully they like us, or they like what we're saying, or they like our style.
Otherwise, I just send it to my mom. My mom's gonna love it. My mom's not gonna critique me. She's gonna do great work, Angie. You look great.
Right. Like that's what we want to do, and I can remember thinking this too. And I mean, I love her. I love Raw Beauty Christy, but I can remember watching her a few years back and being like, why does she do this with her thumbnails? Why does she do this with her titles? And then I was like, oh, because it's working.
Like, I was like, oh, I get it. We're left in the dust.
Right? I was like, oh, I get it. So, I mean, that's just like one example that I have seen on YouTube. But even for myself, like, yes, I'm a YouTuber, but I'm also a watcher. I watch YouTube all day long. And I think about the videos that I'm like, oh, I really want to watch that one. It's usually something a little bit jazzy in the title, or like a fun thumbnail. I'm like, okay, this is fun. So
a fun thumbnail gets me all the time. A quirky face, products, colors, bright, fun, like that gets me.
Yeah.
Like a thumbnail that's a bit grainy, or a thumbnail that's a bit dull, a thumbnail where I can't read the text, like, I'm not going to click on it. And I've noticed that myself, and I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, definitely. And it is. And I've actually made a whole video, I think it was last year, but I made a whole video called Who Has the Power on YouTube.
I
And it
remember
was,
watching that.
yeah, and it's because I'm trying to tell the viewers that you guys actually hold so much more power than I think maybe you do. Like, you're really the ones that are leading the charge. Like, because we do, like, yes, we make things that we want to make. I'm not, I'm not making videos and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make this one again because people like it. Like, I find the things that I enjoy doing, I'll make a video. If it does well, I'm gonna make it again because I have fun with it and that's enjoyable. But I mean, the viewers do have so much power in who they're deciding to watch, who they're clicking on right away. What videos are you watching in the first 24 to 48 hours that creators are putting up, because that's going to help them. Like, there's yeah, they got a lot of power for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, by the way, Betsy, for joining the membership. Yay! Thank you. And I still don't know how to remove comments because I'm lost. But that's the thing. Like, I do videos because I love doing videos. I started YouTube because I wanted to get friends, and I met Samantha.
Yay!
Like, but the thing is that part of having fun on YouTube is seeing the comments from you, is seeing that people watch the videos, like the videos, that it's reaching people. That is part of the YouTube experience. Because if I just wanted to make videos, and it's not about making money, it's not about fame, it's not about like having the people lift you up, it's about doing something that you see entertain people. And if it's not reaching people, that is YouTube telling me this wasn't that entertaining. It's not what people were looking for. So if I just wanted to make videos, why would I upload them? I could show them to my mom. My mom is my biggest fan, like literally. I could just show it to her and that would be it. But part of the YouTube experience is knowing that I created something that people thought was fun. And the more people that see it, the more it's like, oh, yeah, I made something entertaining. I really made something entertaining because it seems like people are sharing it. It seems like people are commenting, and people are clicking on my thumbnail. Means I did something good. So it's not about just making the videos. It's about seeing people reacting on them and knowing that people wanted to click on them and knowing that people wanted to watch them. So I know that a lot of time you get from viewers why are you should just be making YouTube because it's fun. I am. But part of the experience is also knowing that people like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I could never be a YouTuber that gets a lot of hate. Like, I could never be that YouTuber that thrives on drama, because I get sad because I want people to enjoy my videos.
Yeah. And right.
I would be like, okay, bye.
Right. I would not be good at that at all. No, that's not for me. That's not the route for me. But one thing that you said is when I first upload a video, I get so excited. I'm going to my comment section right away. I'm like, yeah, what are you guys saying? What do you guys like? What do you guys think about this? I'm genuinely excited to read my comments and to see what people are saying. It's such a highlight of my day. When I post a video, it's not like I just post it and then keep doing whatever. I post at a certain time because I have an hour etched out to be in my comment section for that first time. So I do it when, that's why I post in the morning. That's kind of what I call my admin time, because I don't have my husband here. I'm not filming. My focus isn't somewhere else. It's because I get to go be in my comment section, and that's genuinely fun for me.
Yeah. And I love coming back to videos a couple of days later and see what comment has the most thumbs up, to see what other people were liking, if there's something that I missed, because maybe I missed a super interesting comment. I love watching that as well. It's so much fun. I love this comment from Karen at the end. Please, I'd love to hear your future plans for YouTube.
Yeah,
we could talk a bit about that. And
for
also,
sure.
Thank you so much, 03 Marissa AB. Am I saying that correctly? Thank you so much for joining the membership. You are most welcome.
I'm trying to do a dance every time you get a new member. I haven't had the wine, so maybe I don't know if I'll do the shimmy, but maybe.
I'll drink for you too. I have more wine. And another thing that I wrote down is, and I am so guilty of this. This is me at my finest, I'm not like other influencers. Because I was that person that was like, what are they doing all day? What is taking so much time? All you have to do is film and edit and upload. That's all you have. And now, 5 years in, I'm like, when am I supposed to have time to film? There's so many other things going on. And I just did not get that. Emails take up so much time. Ugh.
I know. I'm like thinking about my inbox right now makes me like.
And I'm like, oh, I just store the mail as I'm gonna answer, and then all of a sudden I stored 40 emails, and I'm like, when am I supposed to answer all of these stars? I need a new system. Stars is not cutting it anymore.
Stars is not working out. Yeah, I completely understand that, and not that I keep trying to plug my own podcast, but it's funny, some of the things that we're talking about, I talked about with Stephanie Marie, and it's interesting because, again, as you get bigger and you have either more opportunities or you have more comments in general. I always try to go through my comment section. I try to at least heart every single one, just so people know, like, I'm grateful for you.
You're better than me. You're better than me. I read them, but
I try so hard, but you know, it gets to be like it's a lot. So as you grow, you have all of these more things, but also sometimes you are juggling other things too, whether it be other businesses or whatever it may be. So, you know, I have my blog and I'm also an author. Like, I'm trying so hard to write books. 2020 has not been a friendly year for that to happen.
For anything.
Right, anything at all. For sure. But, you know, sometimes too, we either put out merch because people are requesting, they want to see, you know, different items from us. That takes a while. That takes a lot to put up. So you're trying to do that, or maybe you're, you know, a lot of really big YouTubers, like I'm thinking like Desi Perkins, like starting your own brands, all of that, so much goes into it. So you start to juggle a lot more things, and it's like, yeah, it does get hard. It does. I used to put out a video every single day, 7 days a week.
Me too.
I had a video for over a year, 7 days a week. I was showing up. One day was a live chat, but other than that, I was editing, I was filming. It was hard. It was crazy. And now I do usually 4, sometimes 5 a week, but it's a lot. And if you're doing other things, or if you just have a life,
have a
family, children, pets, like, I mean, this time of year, this 2020 has kind of helped, like, not, you know, being able to do as much or go as many places and everything, but it's still been a mentally stressed type of year. So sometimes it's hard to show up on camera and be your, you know, best self. But yeah, there gets to be a lot behind the scenes that you're trying to juggle. So yeah, it gets tough.
Yeah. Jill Roberge. Am I saying that correctly? Hi, thank you so much for the super chat. I haven't started YouTube because I know I couldn't tolerate the mean comments. Does it get easier? I never cared. We've talked about this before. I used to model back in the days, and the things that people would tell me then, like, nothing on YouTube has topped that. Nothing.
Some of the things you've told me, I've been like,
yeah. Like, even people that were supposed to be having my back, like I told you, my manager once told me on a photo shoot, he was like, why don't you stand a bit on the side, because you're a bit wider than the other girls. I was like, so, like, YouTube comments, like, I don't care. What I do care about is when people that I know, or people that I think like me, because there has been some shadiness going on around some creators, that gets me, because I'm like, why are you trying to be shady? Like, that's unnecessary. That gets me, when people that supposedly said that they're my friends, or people that are like, I thought was rooting for me, that gets me. But strangers, not really. Oh, thank you so much, Libby Morehouse, for the super chat. That's so kind of you. What do you think, Samantha? Mean comments getting easier or getting worse?
I feel I'm that person that it's like, I've always wanted everybody to like me, because, like, deep down, I know that like I'm a good person. So it's like when someone does it, I'm like, I don't understand. But you know, through the years, and not only just putting my life online for the past 11 years, but also just growing up, I'm in my 30s now. I understand, and I don't look at it as a bad thing that not everyone likes me or clicks with me or whatever it may be, because that just happens. That's just life. I also don't click with everybody too. So it's like, it's fine. That's okay. I've gotten to the point where the comments that really bum me out are the ones that are just very personal, or the ones that are assuming something about me that's not true. When I see people say like, well, I think that you're this way, or I think, or those
or
are
even
the ones.
worse, I know you're this way, or I know your intentions. You're like, you don't know anything.
Those are the ones that will still continue to really upset me, like the assumptions, or people, because you know, of course, like I've had chats about me and the Reddit threads and all of that, and when people say like, well, she's done this, so I think this, it's like, but you're wrong. So cool. Like those are the things that can upset me, when it's like a little bit more of a personal attack. But like just the little comments that will come in about either my looks or whatever it may be, just like little things like that, those I have found easier to brush off, because I do kind of have that mindset of like, I used to be a really negative person. I used to have some hard times in my life, and I just was negative. And I know that my mindset during that time, it wasn't that I wanted other people to have a hard time or go through something hard, but when people did, I was like, oh, okay, like I'm not the only one that has a sucky life, like everything's fine. Like it would almost like make me feel better. And now I would never, like, I don't think that way anymore, because I'm in such a positive place in my life. Like I'm just more of a positive person these days, and it's something that I really focus on. So I would never leave those types of comments to someone on the internet. So the ones who do, I just feel really sad. And I know that's like something people say, like, I feel bad for them. I genuinely do, though, because I've been that person.
Yeah,
so
because
it makes me sad.
For me, it's like, I can only imagine like what they must be going through to leave something like that online. So I try to not care too much, honestly. But it is hard. Sometimes it can be like, ouch. But most of the times, I'm like, you obviously do not know me, and by judging this comment, you also do not want to know me. So why should I care about you? So I just delete it and go on with my merry life. April Fradel, thank you so much for the super chat. She's asking, what's the most important thing you've learned from YouTube so far?
This is kind of off the top of my head, but one thing that YouTube has really given me has been confidence. I struggle with confidence a lot. I've been through a lot of really bad situations in my life that have really torn down my confidence in myself, and YouTube has started to give that back to me. When I first started YouTube in 2015, I truly was at a rock bottom place in my life. I had a lot of toxic people around me. Not to get too deep, but like it was just a very, very hard time. And I took to YouTube as another way, another extension of my blog, because my blog gave me so much happiness of being able to meet other people that like the same things as me and have the same, work ethic as me, and like just all these different things. And so I thought like, wow, maybe I can have more of that with YouTube. And what YouTube has opened up for me in that sense, and giving me a confidence, has been astronomical. Like it has been, even if YouTube is gone tomorrow or whatever it may be, I still have gained and learned so much about myself through YouTube. And I'm incredibly grateful for that. So I don't know if that's like along the same lines of like what the question asked, but it was the first thing that came to my mind, because I learned how to get my confidence back from YouTube. And I'm really grateful for that.
Actually, I was gonna say like along the same lines, because when I started YouTube, I've never been so lonely as I was when I started YouTube, which is crazy, because I've also never had as many friends as when I started YouTube, and I was in a relationship when I started YouTube, not the one I'm in now. And I was literally told, you are not a likable person, and that's why people don't like you, and that's why you don't have any real friends, because you are not a likable person. This person also told me, you probably don't have any friends now for the same reason as you didn't have any friends when you were a kid, because you're not a likable person. And what YouTube has taught me is that that person was wrong. I am a likable person. People actually do like me. I just was around the wrong people entirely, and those were people that needed, like, almost like they needed fillers. They're like, oh, I have friends, I have acquaintances, and I was like an acquaintance. I was just like a number. I was not like really their friend. And if something YouTube has told me, like taught me, that I'm actually likable. People do like me. Like, and like you said, like confidence that I can have friends as well, and that I can have people that like me and that want to call me and that want to hang out with me. So we can talk all we want about like mean comments and people, it's like mean comments getting to us, and like feeling insecure about videos and feeling insecure about the things that you do. And Aries. But at the end of the day, like the positive outweighs by millions the negative, because I've never had more people that I actually talk to now. Ever.
Same.
Like ever in my life.
Same. I started to tear up as you were saying that, because I've had people in my life say those exact same things to me. And like how you said, like when you started, I know, right? Like when you said when you started and you were so lonely, it's, I have felt the same way so many times. And, you know, being in my 30s now, it's like, am I ever going to find where I fit in? Like, am I ever going to find that? And that is what I know. Like, social media is hard. It can be brutal sometimes. The mean comments can be there. The trolls can be there. But when I look at what my life has been like since deciding to put a blog up in 2009, it has done so much good for me, just beyond everything. And I'm super grateful for that. Like, all of the friends that I can turn to on Marco Polo or through text message or like the Zoom calls or all of that, it's incredible. It's just, it's incredible.
Oh. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
I have one more thing, and then we can take the question that Karen had. And that was the thing about when I started YouTube, I thought that everyone at the same level was always friends. Everyone, every small creator was friends, every big creator was friends, like the people in the millions, they're all friends. And the more I've been on YouTube, the more I've learned and the more I've actually talked to people, I'm like, these are all like different people, and sometimes everyone doesn't mix. And just seeing like the backside of it, because sometimes people are like, why don't you do collabs with this person? Why don't you meet this person? Why don't you? And it's like, oh, that person doesn't really like me. Or it's like with big influencers. Now I understand why some influencers hang out and why some don't, because like we're all human beings, and it's like we're all so different. And it's like I think that sometimes we forget that like we're human beings.
Yeah. Oh, that comment's gonna make me cry.
Samantha, both you and Angelica has passed that confidence on to we subscribers who were super low place when we found you. I feel we sub need to remember to tell our fave influencers this. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Really, thank you. I'm trying to be a super positive person on YouTube. I'm trying to like, and I hope that you understand, like YouTube really, really changed it around for me. It really did. I've never felt like as liked as I am on YouTube. And you right now, you're helping fix this. Not just creators that we talk to, like influencers, especially when like subscribers, because sometimes I like, this person always comments on my videos. Don't think that we don't see that. Remember names. We remember people so much. Like, don't think that we are like, oh, they're all just people or numbers, or we don't like. I see people again and again and again. And sometimes I'm like, oh, this person is back. And they're like, oh, I've been on vacation. I'm like, yeah, I've been seeing you for a bit. Like, we know, we see. Like, don't think that we don't notice. We do. We definitely do. Definitely do. On this one, I love this. If you haven't subscribed to Things by the Burke. You really need to go and check her out. She is the sweetest. Her Get Ready With Me when she talked about the Ipsy Creator Day. That was so sweet. And I don't like that. Small things can mean a lot. Small things can mean a lot. And I'm so happy that we met you, Rachel. I really am. And I hope that we can see each other again. Although 2020 has not been the best year for
I know.
meeting anyone.
Oh, such a
2020 has been 2020 has been the year of like rescheduling.
Yeah, right. Gosh, rescheduling so much. Oh man, bummer.
Thank you so much, Gem of the Hills, for your super chat. What's the most expensive thing? Let me show you. What's the most expensive thing that you have been sent that you couldn't or wouldn't use on your channel? Someone sent me Jeffree Star, and I have been very specific about not using Jeffree Star. It was very kind, but thing is, I have a friend who loves makeup, and she doesn't really care, so I gave it to her, and she was very happy, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, and the note was really sweet. They're like, I know you don't use Jeffree Star, but if you want to use it, just like not showing it on camera. But yeah, I gave it away also.
Thank you so much, Kara. You're the sweetest.
Thank you, Kara.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I like this about like creators being friends, because you have made friends with some really big creators. How have you, like, were you worried? Because I was like, I think that I would be genuinely scared if I met some of the bigger creators. What is your experience? Because I try to tell myself they're only humans, they're only humans, they're only humans. But like, how do you feel?
Yeah, it can be a little bit scary, because I tried to say like they're only human, but especially when they're people that you've watched for so long or you look up to so much, like meeting them, it can, even just like meeting them alone is like, like what's happening. And then when you actually do form a friendship or talk to each other more or exchange phone numbers or like things like that, it's like, wait, this person actually likes me? It feels very strange. But I think one thing too is that it did show me, I feel like with the beauty community, there can be so much negative, because I feel like that's when we're like in the spotlight or in mainstream media, is like, look who's fighting, look who's feuding, look who's failing. That's when we're in mainstream, and or like just really being talked about. But when you actually get to form friendships with people like this, and they care about you and they ask questions and they see that you're going through a hard time, so they take the time to text you or message you, and you're like, wow, no, there's just a lot of really good people in this space. Even if they have millions of subscribers, like they're still taking the time out to it makes you realize that the beauty community is not just all a facade. It's not just all people on cameras only caring about makeup, only caring about numbers, only getting ahead. Are there people like that? Yeah. I mean, there's bad people everywhere. There's bad people in every industry.
Yeah, every industry has that. And there's like, is there really something wrong with someone being just business focused? Maybe not. As long as you're like aware that this person isn't here to make friends, they're here to do business. And I don't necessarily see something wrong with that, as long as they're not leading me on to think that we're going to be friends.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
There are definitely like, because I would say like the few bigger creators that I've met, like I met Bailey Sarian when I was in New York. And she was so sweet, like sweet, and she was she was complimenting my outfit, and she was so sweet. And then when I put up a picture of me and Ricardo when we got married, she actually liked it. And it's the little things. It's the little things, and sometimes you forget that like these are people too. These are like, we are also watching YouTube videos. We are also scrolling on Instagram. We are also liking things and commenting on things, and it's like we're all people, and we're not numbers. Like, just because I have 80,000 subscribers and someone else has 1 million or someone has 5,000, it doesn't make me a better or worse person. We're all people. Like, that's not the reason why we would be like friends. Because sometimes it is so number heavy, and it's like, especially when it's like, oh, why would someone collab with this person? They have so few subscribers, but maybe they're just friends.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because it's like in real life, I don't look at my friends like they don't have to meet like a certain requirement in order for me to be their friend. Like they don't have to make a certain amount of money or live in a certain neighborhood.
You come back when you have 50K and we'll chat again.
Right. You live in a bad side of town. Like talk to me when you move. Like I've never I don't have friendships like that. So I also don't have friendships based on numbers. And that's funny. But yeah, it's just I like good people. That's who I want to be around, and that's who I want to surround myself with.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Mrs. Unnecessary. I wish we could all tell you the stories of what you both mean to us and the low places you pulled us out of. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Honestly, I just want to hear about the good places you're in right now.
I know.
That's what I want to hear about. And I'm so happy that we've all found each other. And thank you so much for the super chat, Ruthie. Thank you for being an inspiration for those of us who have been venturing out on YouTube, but even for those of us who are not. You've inspired so many of us so many to be who they are and not to be afraid to be themselves. Yeah, and this is a totally different story, but thank you so much, Ruthie, for actually reminding me of this. I don't understand why people are so afraid of the term influencer. Is it because it's only linked to influencing people to spend money? Because I don't mind being an influencer, but I don't want to influence you to spend money. I want to influence you to try new things, experiment, try a new color, maybe try a new technique, maybe don't feel like makeup is a necessity or that's something that you need to be pretty. I don't mind being that kind of an influencer, but you don't have to spend money to do that.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand. Like there's been such a negative spin to the influencer thing. So I use influencer all the time. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. Like I try to think like I've said I've tried to like build my platform on inspiring people and not just with YouTube. That's been my whole goal with life. Like I mean, since I was a little girl, I'm going through an abusive situation. I told my story and had another 11-year-old girl then come forward with her story who said, I would have never have told if you hadn't told your story. Changed my life at 11 years old. That has then since been my goal, to tell more stories and to talk about things that I go through, because that was absolutely life-changing to have happened even at such a young age. But it's so weird. I can remember where I was standing when she told me that. I'm 33. I can remember at 11 years old exactly where I was standing because it truly changed the trajectory of my entire life. And so that's why I do things. That's why I write books. That's why I have blogs. That's why I put stories out on YouTube. Some people think I'm crazy because of how much of my life I put online. But when you get messages from people that you've changed, you've helped them, you've inspired them in some way, it makes me feel like I have a purpose in life. And that's obviously so huge. So like my podcast is called Started Inspired, and that's what I want to do. I want to help people start inspired and stay inspired. And it goes way beyond makeup. I think makeup is such a huge thing. And I love that it's what brings an audience together and it's what connects us and we can have that love for it. But there's also so much more to it, and that I try to bring to my audience. And it's, again, going back to like YouTube giving me confidence. It's given me the confidence to talk about it more, and to like, I have a private Facebook group now where we have a daily prompt every single day, and we'll talk to each other about what's motivating us, what made us feel good, like share photos of ourselves, like just like the little things. And I don't know. I love it so much. So yeah.
I like your Facebook group. It's positive.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, before we end with Karen's question about the future, I wanted to bring this one up. Someone's asking, thank you for the super chat. Samantha, where are you buying your nachos?
Okay,
I love this super chat.
This is a great question. Excellent question, actually. So mostly the nachos that you see me eat are from Jethro's. Jethro's in Waukee. Jethro's in West Des Moines is usually where I go to. Waukee, West Des Moines is usually where you'll find me, but also Fuzzy's. Fuzzy's downtown or in Ankeny. Fuzzy's has my number one, but sometimes it's a little too far for me to drive, so then I'll end up at Jethro's, but usually Jethro's is what you're seeing in my photos. Highly recommend them both.
Yeah, nacho influencer. This. Oh wait, here it is. Nacho influencer. Yes. Dream title.
I love it.
Perfect.
Nacho.
Okay,
let's put that on a shirt. I need that on a shirt.
Do it, nacho influencer. I love it. I love it.
Funniest thing. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Speaking of the future.
So funny.
So, what are your future plans, Samantha? Something you want to share? I can't speak. English isn't my first language, in case anyone for any weird reason missed that.
You know, I don't know with YouTube, and it's so funny because I'm very much a goal-oriented person, and like I make my list every day. I make my goals every single month. But I think if I'd have to say goals with YouTube, it's just what I've always set out to do, which is to reach more people and to keep being just really authentic and not being afraid to talk about things that I'm going through. That's what I want to keep up. So that's a definite goal of mine. But I have some other things that are in the works that I'm really excited for that kind of lead back to trying to inspire other people and different things like that. So I'm hoping to have like some sort of announcements coming at some point in the near future that I'm really excited for, and things that I've wanted to do for such a long time. And so yeah, just kind of my goal is to actually build more of a brand, and not a makeup brand, because that's not really the direction that I want to go in, but I have so many other interests. But just really creating kind of more of a brand around me. So that would be my goal. What about you?
I'm just gonna say this first. Thank you so much, Valentine. My recipes, listen, I don't cook. My husband cooks for me. The end.
I used to be the same, and quarantine has made me a new woman. I'm wearing green eyeshadow. I'm eating vegetables. I helped my husband start a garden. I literally don't know who I am. I'm cooking. I'm baking. I'm making my own coffees at home. I want an air fryer. Open to a sponsorship. Yeah, there's a lot going on. But it's so funny because I've gotten so many of my recipes from TikTok, and I think I'm actually doing them because I'm seeing videos of them versus like on Pinterest. I would like pin different recipes and they would tell me what to do. And I'm like, I don't get it. I'm such a visual person.
Yes. I will say though, and I'm saying this quietly, don't judge me. I went to chef school, but I hate cooking. Don't come for me. Don't come for me.
You went to chef school?
Shh.
You went to chef school. How did I know this?
I don't like cooking. I don't think it's fun.
That is so freaking funny. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I'm so glad that I've learned that about you. That is so funny. I am kind of with you there though, because for a long time it was like I could do it. I just don't want to. Like I don't know.
This is me. I know how to make good food. I just don't want to.
Right. Yeah. That would be my thing for a long time too. Is like, I just don't want to do it. And like my husband enjoys it. He has fun with it. He like makes all these different recipes and I'm like, go for it, dude. But then I've changed with that not being able. We also moved to a small town, so that also helped. But then with quarantine and like everything shutting down, it was like, well, what am I gonna do? So that's what really changed me. But I mean, I still think of myself as an undomestic goddess. I'm just I'm changing a little bit, just a little bit though.
Well, listen, I'm putting up the small goals here. My goal has been to do one live stream every week. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Loving the live streams. And I also already have a live stream set for next week. Oh, Aries is away.
That was my dog.
I'm doing a live stream next week as well. I'm doing it on Friday next week. And I have a guest Heather Austin is coming on,
Oh,
and we're going to do a
fun.
live stream. Yes, and we are going to talk about our favorite green eyeshadow palettes and favorite green eyeshadows.
Ooh.
Yes, do tune in for that. So it's going to be on Friday next week. That is like my small goal. Like, I wanted to be like, I want to do more lives. I've been watching so many lives. I've been enjoying so many lives. I was like, I want to do lives. I want to be the person that does lives. So I think that has been like I want to continue doing what I do. I also want to do, like, I did weekly vlogs for a bit. Would love to do weekly vlogs again, but 2020 has not been the years for vlogs.
Yeah, that right.
Staying home this week.
Here's me in my house. Again.
Again, you're like, here's me in my sweats, wearing blue today.
Got my sweats on. Professional on the top, sweats on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, I'm not even trying on top. But yeah, I'm just trying to, like, do more things that I think are fun. But I'm also like, I feel like I'm open for suggestions. I feel like I used to, and we've talked about this as well, I used to be so set in my ways. Like, these are the days I upload, these are the times I upload, I do this many videos, and I feel like I'm more flexible, like.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like trying new things. I like being more flexible, and I just, I think that is my goal with YouTube, is to, like, keep it a bit, like, not too boxed in, because I have been liking it a lot lately when it's been more floaty.
Yeah, that's something I tried to do too, because I used to put myself in this, like, small little box, like, I can only post this type of video on this day, and it was like, no, you can do whatever you want. Besides my Will I Buy It series, I post that every Wednesday. I mean, that's how it started. Will I Buy It Wednesday was like the title or whatever. So like those I keep on Wednesday, but it was like, I don't have to do a theme every time. Like, it's okay.
But it's the same with me. Like, I do my new makeup releases on Sundays, and if I don't post on Sundays, people are like, did you die?
Yeah. People are like, wait, I don't know what day it is now.
Yeah, but the other days, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't upload on Monday. People are like, huh? Who are you?
Right. Yeah. I'm like, I feel like I have to let some of that go of, like, if I don't post on a day I normally post, that I've, like, ruined people's lives. Like, I haven't. Yeah. They are still going on.
No one's keeping track of my schedule.
Yeah. They're all right. For sure.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming on, Samantha.
Thank you for having me.
Don't forget to check out Samantha. The link is down below in the description box if you want to see more makeup content. I also saw that you have a video that I haven't watched that I put on my watch later, which is the one where you are redecorating your bedroom.
Oh yeah, I've been. See, that's what quarantine has me doing. Quarantine project.
I am so looking forward to that, because I loved your video on redecorating your living room, so I can't wait to watch the next one. It's in my watch later. But thank you so much for everyone for coming. Thank you so much for joining the membership, and thank you for super chats, and oh, this was so fun. Thank you again for coming. I will see you tomorrow. I have a new video tomorrow. It's all about fall eyeshadow palettes.
Oh, I was gonna do that one too. Yay!
Oh, really? That's so fun. Okay, thank you for coming. Hope you have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye, guys.